Oh, just let me, That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me, oh, just let me, That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me, fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Broadcasting live from the heart of Europe, this is the most badass sports broadcast in all the known land. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Tommy C, and this is Shot from the Point. You wanted something different? I'm going to give you something different. You wanted something I'm passionate about? Well, I'll try to make it as interesting as possible because I know all you guys are not as diehard sports fans as me. Well, me, I'm only a hockey fan, as me and Jeff are. Now, on my birthday podcast, I had mentioned the president's incident of calling out Steph Curry. I found it to be a mistake because me and Jeff, although I was guilty of as well when we were Shot from the Point hockey, are absolutely tired of the politicization of our sports. Not just hockey, we've seen it all over. And certainly, Donald Trump jumping in the fray was not going to make it any better. In fact, it didn't. There were more protests on Sunday. Things are getting even hotter. As a couple hours, or the next 48 hours went by, I started... Here we go, right away. Courier, XDDD, I love Trump. This is not about Donald Trump like you think it is. It's not even an endorsement.
Let him get to it. Let me
get to this, and then I'll tell him. Now, we're going to go over a couple things. A, this isn't a free speech issue. B, Donald Trump may have actually set this up for two reasons. B, to make the media look like a bunch of jackasses. This is how he got into office to beginning with. He would say triggering things. They would act triggered. The people would see the triggered media and go, what? It's fucking crazy. Which is what he did again. He worked his way all the way to the White House, and the media is yet to figure that out. The other thing is, I think, which I won't be getting much into, I think he might be doing this for a smokescreen to push his agenda forward, something like a tax reform. If all the heat's on him, it's not on the Republicans that would vote no, normally, on any kind of tax plan that he has. Yes, it might be that simple. So while everybody's running around white knighting for these athletes, he could be getting something done. And don't think he's not above it. I'm not saying that he's a total genius, but his knowledge of the media is bar none the best of any president I've ever seen. He understands them. He understands them deeply, and he deliberately and willfully triggers them in order to expose them. What happened? Trump calls for a boycott. Says that players that take a knee get the son of a bitch off the field. And he also talks about, which is also comes from the left as well, you get a hard hit, you get 15 yards and thrown out of the game, which is another problem, which is making a lot of NFL games boring.
You breathe on a quarterback, it's a 15-yard penalty and possibly an ejection.
Yeah, it's no fun. I'm not a football fan. I've never been. I thought it was too rah-rah for me. I like hockey. But it's not like I want the NFL to die or anything. But it might. It might be curtains. I don't know if Trump meant to do that or not, but we have seen clearly that people are sick of identity politics being shoved down their throat. So, the media overreacts. They completely go crazy. You can objectively watch CNN at any time, and this is, oh, we got him this time! We got him this time! We've got him this time since goddamn November 4th. And this is no different. And people are sick of it. They're bored. He grabbed him by the pussy. He's finished. This one's he's finished. The Americans will not tolerate their football stars being disgraced like this. Yes, they will. Here's why. Sports has been politicized pretty much since the mid-'60s, starting with Howard Cosell, and has progressively gotten worse each year. Me and Jeff actually went through an experience where Chicago Blackhawks superstar Patrick Kane was accused of rape, right? A rape kit was given. Nothing came up. The source of the accusation changed her story, and nothing lined up with the evidence at the scene. Absolutely nothing, including penetration, scratch marks, everything that we heard. Nothing we heard from the sports media, from Yahoo, from out of Buffalo, ever came true. To this day, Greg Wyshynski of Puck Daddy says the NHL handled it wrong by not suspending him. An innocent man. A man that was found absolutely innocent. It didn't change their narrative that he was innocent. It didn't change anything. And that's the difference between 60 sports, when it starts to get politicized, and now. And it's been that way in the NFL. Even things like CTE have been politicized. You know, the concussions and the damage concussions do. The rule changes have made not necessarily to be safe, to have the appearance of safety. Almost a feel-good thing. And the idea that players got hurt 20, 30 years ago is somehow the responsibility of their respective sports league. Apparently, they should have been aware of, about neuroscience that wasn't really touched on until the late 90s, or really understood like it is today. So even something as a head injury has been politicized. Sports fans know this. So when Donald Trump comes up and disgraces their heroes that are simply just trying to have free speech, nobody cares. It's actually rallying his base. Because people like me and Jav, you know, the idiots, the knuckle draggers, the mouth breathers, just want to watch sports. My liberal and progressive fans, how would you like to turn on a video game or a comic book or anything else and just be completely shelled with Rush Limbaugh? That's the way me and Jeff feel. Don't we have the right to have a break from politics? From identitarian politics? The poison that probably got Trump elected to begin with? Do we get a break for a second? Is there any time in the day that we should get a break? I got news for you. Most left-wing dictatorships, if you could look at places like North Korea, they are constantly, in every aspect of life, thrown politics. Constantly. Now, the seeds for this were set not by Trump's words, not by Steph Curry's words. The seeds for this incident were set over the summer. And let me show you the numbers. And this is why, if I had to guess, Trump made this move. And I do believe it is a move. J.D. Power and Associates is a polling agency of some kind. They asked fans, let's see, of those that indicated a decrease, why has your NFL viewership / attendance decreased in the past 6 months? Okay, let's just go for football fans. 18% presidential coverage. All right. Yeah.
Now, early last season, I could buy into that.
Yeah. Except commercials and advertising. I've been hearing that complaint since the 80s. I don't watch football. That's one of the reasons I never watched to begin with. I just can't stand it.
You know, kickoff,
half-line shows. It's enough is enough.
Extra point commercial. Yeah.
Game delays, including penalty flags. Well,
yes.
This also comes from the left. In the obsession with safety. Look, I believe, and I don't think I'm a Neanderthal to believe, that if you take up a pro career like football, which pays very, very well, or any kind of contact sport for that matter, you do take the risk of not living very comfortable as an adult. No one said you had the right.
Shit can happen.
Shit can happen. It happens to a lot of athletes.
You knew that when you signed the papers to join the Army. You knew what you were doing.
I absolutely knew the risks, and I'd be perfectly honest with you. I understand the risk better than when it comes to CTE than I did, let's say, when I wanted to be a hockey player in the 90s, and I would gladly be a goon tomorrow. It's just something I want to do.
Anything you do, you know what you're getting into.
I know, and I know I could get punch drunk, like Riddick Bowe, like Evander Holyfield, like probably Mike Tyson. These are incredible risks to take. This is why, in a lot of reasons, they are paid so much. Not only for what they draw, but for the great risks that they take with their body.
Sure.
Pro wrestlers, the same thing. Any contact sport. So the game delays, the moves are really a result of trying to cut down on brain injury, which is not a bad idea. But there are some things, if you understand contact sports, that could never be fixed.
It ruins the game. It ruins the game.
It is just a risk you have to take. Otherwise, you're playing something other than football.
Here's an idea. Don't lean in with your head when you try to hit somebody.
I suppose. But that in itself is politicization, the game delays. Don't let them tell you anything different. Off-field problems with domestic violence. Now, there's been several high-profile cases of NFL players abusing their wives. I don't know about getting away with it, but getting in a lot of trouble. I always found this very interesting because I never hear if NFL players, which is what, there are 1,000 of them, right? Is that about accurate?
Something like that,
Something about 1,000 players. I wonder if it is actually above or below or somewhere around the national average when it comes to domestic violence and domestic violence and abuse. I wonder. I don't know if it's anymore, because I do know when an athlete gets hit with a crime, it does lead people that have an agenda to say that there's a systemic problem within football that leads these men to be abusers more than others. I've never seen that. All I've seen is Ray, was that guy? Ray, the guy who knocked out Ray Rice, that clocked his girlfriend.
Oh my God.
And that being used to pass, get this, a political agenda. I don't have any idea if there's a problem with NFL players beating their girlfriends any more than anybody else. Here's 30%. National anthem protests, starting with Colin Kaepernick. That's right, Colin Kaepernick, who has become an outspoken about things like Black Lives Matter and identity politics. He wears it on his sleeves. He makes no apologies, and he takes knees during he takes knees during the national anthem, right? Which of course is his right. And then 6% being cord cutting, and that means very simply people that are just clipped. Probably like I'm probably a cord cutter. The only thing I have the NHL, I don't watch anything else. You know, and then I do my YouTube thing. So I might qualify as a cord cutter. Now, to be fair, full disclosure, this particular poll has come under a lot of attack by the media. And in fairness to them, my wife's an accountant. I've known people that work. Jake, stop calling. Jesus. I know people that work. I know people that work with numbers and polls, and they say you pretty much can get any results you want depending on how you do the numbers and how you phrase the questions. So take this poll with a grain of salt. There's a lot of people in the left-wing sports media that think it's bullshit. All right? So just to be full disclosure. But if I had to guess, that is exactly what Donald Trump is counting on. And so far, it looks like he is right. People are sick of the simple act of watching a game. You need to know about Women's Breast Cancer Month. Hands up, don't shoot. Players coming out saying hands up, which, by the way, never happened. It never happened. It's been proven without a shadow of a doubt. People making political expressions on the field, and you are subject to watch them and hear about them, and also hear the media drool over them. It is completely and totally reasonable that people are sick of it. And one of the reasons they're sick of it is because the people that bring them sports news actually hate them. They look down at them. They find them repulsive. Repulsive human beings. People like me and Jeff, we're bad people because we don't necessarily agree with them on CTE, and we might not agree with them with these political stances that these certain NFL players are taking. Take Bob Costas, legendary sportscaster, recently on Bill Maher. Let's see how he feels about people like me and Jeff. Wrong button. Boy, I blew that.
Because whenever you're here, I always say, you know, Bob's here, and we're going to talk about sports issues because there are these big sports issues, but he is so much more than just sports. And then I look at the issues, and I'm going, yeah, but sports somehow gets to all the big issues that really are bubbling up in our society.
It often intersects, despite the mouth breathers who say, leave it all out of sports. I just tuned in to hear there's a ground ball to shortstop. Fine.
Yeah. And what is wrong with tuning in to just hear about a ground ball to shortstop? The fact of the matter is, and I don't share all your values, and I don't want your values shoved down my throat. And left-wing, identitarian, social justice values are not universal by a long shot. I shouldn't have to hear that any more than I should have to hear about Jesus. I shouldn't, and I don't want to. And you know what? According to these numbers, there are NFL fans that are reacting to this. This is what the president is trying to tap into. And I think he's doing it quite effectively. The media is running around making an ultra jackass of themselves. Now, you might hear people talk about free speech, and we'll get to that. Back Colin Kaepernick and other players taking a knee. But it's not a free speech issue. And you would think the people that are screaming about free speech would be open to the other side. Well, they're not. No, they're not. Our old friend Greg Wyshynski, who writes for a very powerful NHL blog, wrote this after the Pittsburgh Penguins, who won the Stanley Cup last year, decided that they would go see the president after they won the Stanley Cup, like they had done with George H.W. Bush and Barack Obama. This wasn't good enough for Greg Wyshynski. The most hilarious part of this insane statement has to be the political protest can be expressed in other ways by the NHL players. As if the Penguins or the league or hockey culture would ever allow a player to take a knee during an anthem or write Black Lives Matter on their pristine helmets. What nonsense. What complete nonsense when you consider the political realities of standing with the president for a photo op at the White House. Congrats. You're an ad campaign. Please shut up. This is what they do to dissent. Shut up. You guys that listening that were a part of Gamergate, it's the same thing. You're a racist. You're a misogynist. You're a homophobe. Translation, shut up. So please, Greg Wyshynski, please, Bob Costas, do not lecture me on free speech because it doesn't go both ways in your world. In fact, there is only one way, and you are so blind and have so much tunnel vision, you can't believe that anybody that is sane could think outside your paradigm. And because of that, you are now getting people to flip the switch, not buy the ticket, and not go into the store that sells the jersey. It has come to this. Dead on Dave told me that no one will ever walk away from wrestling, right? That there's only one option. So I got to be honest with you, although the WWE does not have this problem yet, I think you would see a drop in ratings and people walking out if you had a social justice theme wrestling stable. If they were the good guys.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
If they weren't the heels.
I mean, it's already bad enough right now. My God, no mercy.
I'm canceling this month. I'll wait till WrestleMania or something. And maybe I won't because I'm going to buy the NHL. It's too expensive.
And NXT's still worth it.
Yeah. Let's face it, I can steal it.
There you go.
If I had to. And that is worth it. You're absolutely right.
You know, real quick, remember when Tim Tebow was taking a knee because of his religious beliefs a couple years ago?
Oh, yeah, that was really
tearing him apart.
That was really positively received by the media. They really respected his religious beliefs. No, they didn't. They were outraged.
Not really.
And not only were they outraged, they even got sicker to their stomach, which is why I like Tim Tebow, when he started to win and make comebacks with the Denver Broncos.
And what's even better is he couldn't even throw the ball.
He could barely throw the ball, but he found a way to win.
And now he hits 220 for the single A Mets.
No, I hope single A. You got to get the double A to be a pro because the difference between single to double A is harder from triple A to the pros. That's another story. Baseball's a whole different. I don't know. By the way, don't believe me? The fans are sick of this. Let's go back to Puck Daddy. These are Greg's fans. These are the top 5. I just took the top 5 fans. These are the most liked comments on the same part of the article that I read you. What a sad, pathetic, racist, anti-American article. Kudos to the Penguins for acting like grown men. How judgmental, racist, and ignorant. Who are you to judge the Penguin players for attempting to graciously accept the invitation to an historic landmark to celebrate their success while attempting to stay out of politics? So, if you don't openly agree with your point of view and follow suit with others, then they are judged to be wrong. Wow. Sad to see Wyshynski had access to print his views so other sheep and could bobble their heads and call him a journalist. Once again, Greg, you disgust me. Puke Daddy is a garbage forum. Mark, hell, if I didn't know any better, I'd say this article was written by a racist that expects all sports to boycott the White House. Anonymous. Why are they wrong? Because you say so? Who the hell are you? Visiting the White House is not about who the president is, about honoring the tradition of this country. Keep politics out of sports. That's top 5, 1 through 5. That's what they want. And you know what? It doesn't make us be bad people if that be the case. That is what Trump is tapping into. Yahoo is a very, very left-leaning organization, not unlike Google. Go to any one of these Wyshynski articles that either have Patrick Kane or any other kind of politics. His own fans do this almost every single time. The only difference is when I was a kid and you kept failing like this, you lost your job. Or at least you were told to make a change. In an era of Roger Goodell in the NFL, we don't make changes. We're political butt boys to Obama. Well, Obama's not in office anymore, obviously. And guess what? The president has every right to call for a boycott, as any other citizen does, for anything else. Now, I'm sad and perfectly saddened that, and I do recognize this, the president jumping in made it worse. But you know what? There's no going back. These people aren't going to change. They would rather lose ratings than serve the people that they're supposed to be serving.
Losing attendance too.
They don't care. It doesn't matter. I liked it when I was a kid, and I used to say, all corporations are money driven. I wish they were. That means the marketplace would decide. Right now, progressive liberals are the establishment, and they decide for you whether the business goes down in flames or not. The old way was better. Trust me, this sucks. And people are starting to turn it off. As well they should if they deem fit. Now, let me crush the free speech issue like this, like that. Do you know of any other job that you could take where you could make a public political statement and actually with that political statement visibly hurt your company or place of work's bottom line and keep your job? There isn't a place on earth. Congress shall make no laws. I didn't see the NFL, MLB with the founding fathers. Congress shall make no laws. Google shall make no laws. Isn't there either? Yes, that goes for me too. It is not an attack on my free speech if Google cuts the cord. It's not. It's not. It's shitty. It's not in the vein of free speech like they pretend to be, and we know from James Damore that's not the case. But there is no place on earth where you can use somebody else's field, somebody else's uniform, somebody else's stadium, and somebody else's cameras to make your political statement. It's not a right. You have the right to do it, but you don't have the right to do it on somebody else's dime. Now, if the NFL deems fit and they like this shit, they're more than welcome to do it. But they have a problem, and they have a choice. And here it is. That's the problem with this. The left is waking up to the fact that their values are not shared outside our major cities. They're not. I'm from New Jersey. I live down south. It's different. People feel differently down south than they do. And they're not all racist bigots as the true bigots in New York City and Chicago and Los Angeles would have you think. It is not a free speech issue. Can you imagine hiring a gardener, and you're a Democrat, and all of a sudden they start lecturing the people about voting for Donald Trump? You are not in charge of their First Amendment right to do that. And you can let them go if it keeps them from effectively doing their job. This is not a First Amendment right to take a knee on somebody else's dime. And when you do it in an NFL uniform and you do it at work, yes, that's their place of employment, you're doing it on somebody else's dime. And the only way that is okay is if the NFL allows it. But us, the fans, can turn it off, as we have every right to. As much as they have every right to take a knee. Not questioning their right to take a knee. You were going to say, Jeff?
You know, I was going to say, Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, I mean, he came out and said they're all simply paid performers on a stage, and the field is his stage.
That is his stage.
And he's saying they will stand with their hand over their heart with respect. And
I hate that guy. I hate that big blowhard.
I can't stand the guy. But when he says when the anthem is being played and your hand isn't over your heart, you will no longer be a Dallas Cowboy.
That's fine with me.
But you're associated with the team, he will immediately fire them.
It doesn't say Jerry Jones shall make no law. It says Congress shall make no law. That's it. The federal government. That's what the Constitution applies to. Not private business. Nor should it. just for this reason. Can you imagine hiring somebody and they're doing something to make you lose money? And when you go to fire them, saying, hey, it's my First Amendment right to continue to do this despite the fact that it's hurting your bottom line. That's insane. It's stupid. It's dumb. And you don't have a right to do it. Colin Kaepernick has the right to take a knee. He has the right to be shitty. He has the right to spit in the flag, set it on fire, do whatever the fuck he sees fit. But he doesn't have the right to do it on other people's dime, and the people in the stands have the right to walk out if they see fit. If they like it, fine. Fuck the anthem. Get rid of it. I don't care. It's not my fucking game. It's yours. But guess who does care? The people that are putting up their goddamn money. And if they're not worth shit, well, the NFL, they deserve to go, and any other league that follows their lead. Period. It's not a free speech issue, any more than I have a right to be on here right now. And, by the way, I was doing the math today. You know how much money I would have made this month from Google before the apocalypse? $3,000. Can I, you know what I'm making?
Nice.
$300. Just from ads. Been a really nice week for me. Been nice. Could have been even life-changing. But guess what? That's Google's world. And if I don't like it, I get the fuck out. That's the way it works. I want to go over some absolutely idiotic tweets I got, too, about this.
Oh, God. This should be good.
I have to scroll down a little bit. I mean, this is just unbelievable. Talk about people. And, yeah, it said really, you know, I want to like this Australian guy, but he's one of these people that I'm talking about. You agree with me or you're a horrible human being. That's just very simply what he is. I know he's a big fan of Dave's and he's been very loyal to us, but I got to be honest with you, he's about as he's more obnoxious than I am on Twitter. It's absolutely unbelievable.
All right, what do you got?
I got to scroll down. So, I want to get it on screen for everybody. Mumkey Jones, congratulations to him.
Yeah, his tweets make me laugh hysterically.
He didn't write me today. I don't think he was quite aware that the whole thing's falling apart. I don't think he was aware of that at all. I think he thought that, you know, these poor, mean owners are clapping down on these guys with their First Amendment rights. No, it didn't. Oh, jeez. I should have prepped it.
Well, give me the gist of what it said, and then we can dig it out. And
yeah, I don't think that's fair because I already named that guy, and I don't want to. As much as I can't stand his politics, I don't want to misrepresent him. I think that would be shitty.
Yeah.
Lawrence O'Donnell is my dad. That was last week. Good morning, Lawrence O'Donnell. Love phones, butt sex. What was that from? I mean, he sent me. I do remember this. I don't know. It just seems to have disappeared.
Well, while you're looking,
I do remember this. He did send me a picture. I think it was the '66 Olympics. I want to say, 66 Olympics with a very famous picture of the black athletes. I think that won the gold. The American black athletes that won the gold. I think in the bronze, or maybe in the silver. And they put the Black Power symbol up, which is a very, very famous photo. We're in the middle of a terrible, terrible civil rights issue. Serious, actual bigotry towards African Americans. He said, I guess this killed the Olympics. That's what he wrote back. And I found the comparison completely ridiculous because shit like that didn't happen that often. Second of all, the situation was a lot different back then. I think a lot of people could sympathize with them. Blacks were treated like second-class citizens, and they were fighting for the right.
I mean,
Third of all,
serious shit.
Here's the one that really kills our Australian friend. It was not a professional sport. They did not allow professional athletes until 1992. None of those guys were paid. And they made a political statement. This wasn't every day. This wasn't taking a knee. I don't know that they sat down for the national anthem. I don't know that they did that. They made a political statement. The reason it was so iconic was because it was so rare. But now, it's every week. And it's from ESPN, who, by the way, is also their ratings are going down.
They don't like the same color as somebody. I mean...
You know what this all comes down to? The First Amendment and boobs. It's really the same point that guy was trying to prove. He went in there, and you can see the grin on his face before he says it, right? and says, I believe in only two things, the First Amendment and boobs. And what happened? Those two people melted down.
They lost their shit.
They lost their shit. And we laughed at them.
Well, she did. He was trying to get his shit together.
He lost his shit, too. He didn't know what to do with himself. He didn't know whether to reverse his signal or scratch his ass. He didn't know what to do. And that's exactly what Trump did to the mainstream media. Because most people don't care about the right or the left-wing politics or libertarian politics or anything politics at all. They care if the Rangers are going to make the playoffs, because that's what they do to get away from their day that is probably completely surrounded by office politics and other bullshit. And there should be a space or a place where you can do that without somebody shoving their values down your throat. I wouldn't want to hear it from a Christian. I wouldn't want to hear it from a Muslim or a Jew, although Jews never shove their shit down your throat. One of the reasons I love them. Right? You wouldn't hear it. You wouldn't want to hear it from a Jehovah's Witness. You wouldn't want to hear it from a Scientologist. You wouldn't want to hear it from a cultist. You wouldn't want to hear it from somebody in Hare Krishna. You wouldn't want to hear it, and you have every right not to. And if the NFL or any other league decides that this is their platform and they're sticking to them and this is about free speech, fine, here's mine, fuck you. I'm out. That's free speech too. And that's what's happening. And I'm pretty sure these numbers are correct. Or at least close. But then again, all polls are bullshit. And they're usually agenda-driven.
Yeah, well, turn on an NFL game and you just look at the stands.
The only polls on this planet that you can trust, but you'll never see them, is the polling of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. They're internal polls. Because they can't bullshit themselves. They have to know what to do. But you're never going to see those. Ever. Ever. Those are the only polls that are probably legit. Because they have to be accurate. Otherwise, you make bad decisions. That's it. So, that's where I stand with that. I'm a sports fan. I love hockey. One of the things that I was actually happy about, because I'm happy. Me personally, I'm happy you're talking about politics. Politics YouTube, politics of sports, but that's what you tune in for. Jonathan Point probably didn't grow hockey because I was too political. And that's so I went somewhere that was a little more political, which is more YouTube drama, the politics of YouTube, right? But you guys don't have to watch me. You can turn me off. You find something more interesting. But most of you guys are interested in the drama. And then what was this NFL thing with Curry and other than Curry and Trump, other than just drama?
That's all it is.
That's it. It's entertainment. And he's entertaining you probably while he's trying to get something else done. And you want to see these guys hoot and holler if he pulls off some kind of legislation in the next couple of days while they were screaming at him, calling him a racist because he didn't let Steph Curry in the White House after Steph Curry made a big fucking scene. That's fine. I don't care.
Well, Steph Curry already said he wasn't going.
Yeah, well, no, that's not true. He said he would do what the team... Let me stick up for Steph for a minute. He said he would do what the team did. But if it was up to him, he wouldn't go. That's what he said. Fair. But he made the statement. He hesitated. And Trump decided to be a big baby about it and not invite him. Not saying I like this. This is a sad day in a lot of ways. But I like exposing the media because in the United States, they're our fourth branch of government, and they were never intended to be. And they do not listen to the will of the people, nor do they care. They care about their political agenda and their agenda only, even if they lose money, which is frightening. A company like Google, YouTube completely tanks. It doesn't even take a fucking mild chunk out of them. That's kind of terrifying. Orwell had it wrong. And I'm quoting Miles Yiannopoulos here. It wasn't the state. It was corporations. They're the ones that became the establishment. They're the ones that are telling us how to live. And that's fine. Even the only job for a corporation is to collect money. You go join a group of people that try to make money. Make your life better. That's it.
Trying to get a profit. That's what any business does. That's what any business is supposed to do.
But now they're so powerful and they've been taught so much bullshit in college that they're actually trying to, I don't know, become a state-like. I thought RoboCop, when I first saw it, was a bit of a joke. I started to think otherwise. And I always did think if something like that happened, it would be on the right. Because the right, when I was a kid, dominated corporate culture. Not anymore. Not anymore. If the right would have dominated corporate culture and something like that with the knee, somebody would have got canned. You know why? We can't afford for those guys to go out and chase our fans away. That's it. They're employees. They can join Black Lives Matter and go to protests if they see fit. They're very, very rich. I don't know about you. I don't know what this looks like to you. And I'm not going to shame you. I'm not Greg Wyshynski if you don't feel the way I do. Some people look at this and they see an act of courage and standing up for what's wrong in the United States and fighting back critics that would otherwise like to see their free speech rights taken away. I don't see that. I see something disgusting and repulsive. I think this is a symbol of our country and how divided and divisive it's become. Look at this. All the minorities are, most of the minorities are the ones taking the knee and the white guys are standing up. I find that repulsive and disgusting. And I don't want to be reminded of it when I'm trying to watch a game. And I think it's sad. And while I think every one of these men have the right to do it, they are not entitled to do it any more than I am entitled to have to watch it. All right. You have any opinions? What's happening?
I do have some breaking news for you about somebody else taking a knee, actually. Jack Capuano, he's the new associate coach of the Panthers. He actually took a knee at a Subway after they ran out of the new autumn carved turkey sandwich.
What?
Courtesy of the Not Danny Heatley account. I thought you'd like
Christ, that. Not Danny Heatley. There's another jerk off that thought the world would bend to his whim. Didn't work out.
No,
Spoiled,
he did score
athlete.
50 in 07, though.
07? Was it 07? Yeah, I guess
50
so.
in, well, yeah. That
was a couple of years after he killed his buddy.
The whole year, the whole thing, 50 in 07?
That's right. Yeah, he's a big baby. He could have been great. Could have been Hall of Famer. Yeah, the All-Star. Yeah, this is his rookie year. I remember that was Jeremy Roenick. He had like 4 or 5 goals. And that big chipped tooth. And then he got in the cover at NHL. And then he killed his best friend. Actually, it's a gaming rarity to find Danny Heatley on the cover.
Yeah, they didn't. I don't think they changed the cover that year, though.
They did. I think by November they got new ones out, if I'm not mistaken. I forget what year it was, though. I want to say it was 90.
I remember a couple years ago when the whole Patrick Kane thing went down, they took him off the cover.
Yeah, they did, but there was supposed to be both Kane and Taves in the cover. And yes, he did take it. Yeah, the guy lost a bunch of money, and he's not on NHL. Was it 16? Because somebody falsely accused him of rape. And Greg Wyshynski, the guy that thinks the Pittsburgh Penguins shouldn't go to see the president just because he thinks so, thought that was just fine. And after it was proved, proved is one thing. I mean, there's simply nothing to charge him with because there was no evidence, no DNA, no collaborating witnesses, and her story didn't add up. The crime scene didn't do anything. But Greg Wyshynski thinks he should have been suspended all that time with pay. Nice guy.
Yeah, great. He still doesn't get to do what he loves to do.
Well, and not only that, we were going to suspend people based on accusation.
On accusation.
On accusation. Like we've seen this in colleges as well. And what usually happens is when the guy gets off, they sue the fucking pants off the college. And that's something the NHL may have had to deal with. You're benching me over something I wasn't even convicted for. And by the way, if we start
Ezekiel Elliott right now,
one of the things that I think was missed in the Patrick Kane case with the media, because they wanted him to go to jail because he was a dude bro, not because he raped anybody, because he was a dude bro, was if it can happen to catch Kane, then some slob that's a plumber who's accused of rape, we only have to suspend you. I wasn't convicted yet. I got a court date. I'm on bail. I'm sorry. And what makes you think they'll suspend you with pay if you're some slob plumber? Probably not.
Right. Yeah.
This is what sports fans are sick of. I'm going right to the calls. And on topic, or you better be, if you're not on topic, you better be damn good. Dude Boy Wild Man, what's up?
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I have to disagree with you on this.
Okay, go ahead.
I believe that while politics should stay out of sports, what I believe is that instead of putting it on the same show where you talk about sports news, they just make a separate show altogether.
Well, they kind of have those things already. I think people are just sick of them.
Yeah, but in my opinion, you can just not watch it.
Yeah, that's but listen to what you just said. That's the problem. They're not watching. Look, I'm not telling you that you're not entitled to your opinion. I like politics and sports too. But guess what? I don't think the great majority of people do, and I think Donald Trump figured that out. And he's using that to his advantage, much like he used the fact that people despise the media to his advantage. You want to talk about politics, sports, and taking a knee and all that other stuff? That's great. I don't. I want to know if the Penguins are going to do it again this year.
Oh,
I want to know what lines John Tortorella is going to put out in Columbus. I want to see what this kid Connor McDavid does. If he's really cracked up to what he's supposed to be.
He is.
I don't want to talk about what you want to talk about. Can we agree with that?
Yeah. I gotta go.
All right. Bye-bye. Take care.
Okay.
All right, fair enough. That's the way I feel about it. By the way, if you want to call in, Discord. Download Discord. The link's in the description box. Takes you I'm a Discord partner.
Yeah, Bob Costas, that is what I want to do when I watch a baseball game. I want to hear the guy call the ground ball to shortstop, or like right now, watch Aaron Judge hit his 50th home run.
I remember, I like that stuff too, right? But I got caught up in the politics often. And I know it drove you guys nuts when we did.
Sure, that's just your cup of tea.
Yeah, it was my cup of tea and my fucking show. But I just I get it.
But you don't cram it down everybody's throat.
Well, I mean, they can always turn it off.
Exactly.
I did get rid.
And you're okay with that.
No, I did.
And you get why?
It's fine because people didn't want what I was offering. They wanted sports all the time. And to be honest with you, the idea of my sports talk show was going to be pretty much like Shot from the Point Now was going to be shock jock Howard Stern-esque, talk show. Didn't work.
Get into a little more than the game itself on the ice.
Sure. And back then we did it for fucking shits and giggles anyway.
Right.
190. Can I get over 100 likes, baby? Were you not entertained? Only 6 dislikes, and I came in with 4 before I started. So let's put in. What's this guy? Subby Gang.
Subby Gang. We'll go with that.
Subby Gang, you're on here. I'm gonna blow it because I got other callers. Eagle Swag, you're on the air.
Hey, what up, man? How
you
doing?
Dude? What you got for me?
Yeah, dude, I actually have something to say about Donald Trump, and there's a sport thing right here.
What's that?
I think that Donald Trump is pretty racist. That's why.
You think he's right? Why do you think he's racist?
Why?
I don't know. I don't know if that's like. I don't know if that's like what we're talking about.
I don't have any opinion about this thing, but I feel like he's stupid, to be honest.
All right, you feel he's stupid.
Yeah, peace out, man. Thank you for inviting me.
All right, brother. Take care.
Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Man, don't like Donald Trump.
All right.
Who might argue with him?
I think he's a pretty good businessman, though.
I think he's an asshole, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if it goes much deeper than that. He's just an ass.
That just sounds like one of those H3 things. I think I feel he's a hypocrite. Well, how is he? I can't really tell you that.
I can't prove
it just really
anything.
Feels that way.
I can't prove anything. That's just what I believe.
And if you
if I believe it, it's true.
Yeah, worth billions. This equals stupid. And then the other thing is like every Republican president in my lifetime was a complete blithering moron. Ronald Reagan, George Bush, second George Bush.
W. Bush.
Oh, what a shock. Donald Trump's a fucking moron too. Oh, Richard Nixon, Gerald Ford, every Republican president of my lifetime.
Yeah, Richard Nixon was
I was a baby.
To get caught doing something illegal.
Yeah. And I was a baby, but everybody's a moron and everybody's an idiot. And all Trump has ever been able to do is manipulate the media and doing what he wants to do and won an election by the skin of his teeth. And by the way, do you remember where he won the elections? Those important areas? Middle class, working class people, Wisconsin, traditionally Democratic, Michigan, traditionally Democratic, Pennsylvania, could swing both ways. A lot of those people, if I had to guess, were disenfranchised sports fans.
Didn't Wyshynski point at Pennsylvania as being like a crimson red state?
Yeah, I don't know if he said that.
I believe he did in that article.
Oh, did he? Well,
I believe he did. Hold on.
No, I don't know. $1, delirious. Tim Thomas wasn't keen on Obama, and he didn't go to the White House. Perfectly acceptable form of freedom of speech and protest. And I would agree with you. And I have to stick up for Wyshynski. He did stick up for Tim Thomas at that time. I don't think he would now.
He did.
But he did. He did. I was actually wrong in a situation like that. But look at the media's reaction. Go back and see when Tim Thomas didn't go and how they reacted. how they reacted. It wasn't about free speech. With Tim Thomas, it was, he's probably a racist. That's why he didn't go. And this was extremely disrespectful. Disrespectful. No one said that to Steph Curry. I don't give a shit if you disrespect this president or not. But if you do, you might have to deal with the free market.
There's some shit that comes along with that.
Yes. No one's saying you can't talk about it. You just can't talk about it on my dime. Super token.
Here's what he says. 2 things about personal politics. By and large, NHL players are conservative, not necessarily socially, but most certainly fiscally.
Yeah.
And the Penguins fan base is, by and large, based in Crimson Red counties in western Pennsylvania and as well as West Virginia and parts of Ohio.
That's the United States. Well, God, most of them come from... Well, that's not true. Fucking Jeremy Roenick's from Massachusetts. When I was in Boston, there's a hockey rink every other fucking mile. And that is a blue state to the bone. And to me, that he's trying to belittle those people. Because those people's values are inferior to his. They're not different. They're inferior. They're bad people.
I'm a big writer on Yahoo.
Woohoo! Let me tell you about Greg Wyshynski. He's the same age as me, actually 1 year younger, and he grew up a town over from me. And he's a big, fat pussy. Big shock here. Thought he was better than everybody. And a little privileged prick, too. Going to nice Catholic schools like Bishop R. Oh! Didn't play hockey. Not junior. Not as far as Jeff made it. Nothing. Zero. Zilch. In fairness, there wasn't a lot of opportunity for hockey players that were born in the mid-'70s. Not New Jersey. And not unless you're rich or live near Brick. Unless you live down the shore, like near Kevin Smith and shit. Then you might have a chance. And built the Woodbridge Ice Center when I left.
And if you're not Connor McJesus, blessed with that talent.
Yeah. But he sucked, from what I understand. He couldn't even he was too fat for his fucking JV baseball team. That's what I was told. Big, obnoxious prick. Thought he was smarter than everybody. Not much has changed. Fucking 23 years later. No one cares? Well, why don't you go watch another stream then, buddy? Peace. Okay. Wet mail.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
I think Trump's great.
Do you? You're like the other caller.
Except on the other end.
Yeah.
I don't.
You like Trump?
Yeah, no, I think. Yeah, I got a poster of him in my room.
Do you really? You're a lame.
I do. I got a poster of him and Alex Jones.
You don't. You're fucking tugging my nuts.
No, I am not. I'll send you a picture.
Good. You do that immediately. I'll tweet it. How about that?
Right, I'll send you a picture tonight.
Okay.
Actually, hold on. I might have one in my phone. Hold on.
Well, shit. I would appreciate. Can I show everybody?
Sure. Yeah, hold on 1 second. I'm at work, so like.
Who in the chat wants to see Alex Jones and Donald Trump on this kid's fucking wall that's probably covered with dry semen?
Well,
put a 1 in there. Yeah. Well, you got to get through the day somehow. You have a poster of Tommy in your room, raw potato. Good for you, sir. Good for you. Why not?
Weird.
All right, you send it to me?
In their room.
You send it to me?
Yeah, I'm going to try to. I got to find it. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, send it later. I got to get to the other callers. That's not fair.
Yeah, you can hang out with me. I'll send it to you.
All right, thank you. And I'll make fun of you later. Thank you, sir.
All right. Do you really think he has a poster of those two in his room?
Yes. I was convinced. Oh. Absolutely. All right, the real Samson.
All right.
What's up with you? You're not American. You're not allowed to talk. You're not allowed to have an opinion on this. You're not American. Go ahead.
The NFL players stood for...
Yeah, they didn't stand for you. You don't have the First Amendment. Go ahead. What do you want?
Wait, where are you, Simpson?
I was going to say, actually, this is about sports in general, politicizing sports. This is the fun fact, though. If you look at now this is just a fun fact, right? Now, if you compare to now, right? For me, I don't care about political views on sport. I don't think it should be merged between the two. It's merged anyway.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Though. During World War I, right, on Christmas Day, I don't know if you know about this, but there was a truce, basically, right?
You're going to say. Tell the story.
Yep, absolutely.
You know the story exactly. And Joe gets me. These people are essentially mortal enemies, yet they just want to play a game of soccer, or and football or whatever country you're from, basically. But yeah, they just want to play a game of sports, right?
Yeah. Tell them who it was.
So why does
Tell the story? Tell
exactly?
The story.
This is the thing, though.
Who played soccer on Christmas morning? Who?
What's in the German forces during World War I on Christmas
Day. English. Played some football, killing each other the next day.
But yeah, exactly.
Get out and killing each other. But one day on Christmas, let it all go. To do what they really should have been doing is being young men and not having to shoot the shit out of each other.
Exactly.
I don't think the modern liberal could swallow that. It's a different world.
That's the thing. That's my point.
It wasn't about politics.
It's dare you be human?
Well, none of these people served. None of these people served anything other than their own ideology themselves. That's it.
You said actually on the stream yesterday, it was basically there was two people of different different religions. You asked them, you were joking saying don't fight each other, and they just said that's what politicians do.
Yeah, it's exactly. Oh, yeah, that's true. I told this story
on
my birthday. There was a guy from India in my cab and a guy from Kashmir, Pakistan, and it came up, and I just said, mostly just in case there was going to be an issue. I didn't know. I made a crack joke, break the ice, and the guy from Pakistan just says, "It's politicians. It's not people." That's what he said. Yep. Can we please have our sports back without your stupid fucking identity politics, please?
Exactly. Preach.
And you know what? I'll make you a deal. I won't talk about Rush Limbaugh and Ronald Reagan. Oh, wait. That doesn't happen as it is.
Reagan smash.
Exactly. That's the thing, though. I've always had this problem. Right? I say we go to a concert, right? People go, it's a similar thing in sports. So it's like, I pay to watch a game. I don't give a shit about their beliefs or what they do on and off the field. It's what's on the fucking screen. If I'm paying just to watch people disrespect the whole country, then why would I give a shit? Do you know? Why would I pay that bill or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't care what the personal beliefs of the Cardinals are. I want them to smash the fucking Cubs into the ground.
Exactly. That's what I want. It's the same in any sport. Same in any sport. You pay to watch the game. You don't pay to watch people preach on their political agendas or identity politics.
Yeah, like, why are we listening to them? Oh, 11-11, self-fight. Why are we listening to guys that are probably the most privileged class of people out there? They're 1% of 1%, and they got there a lot because of their genetic gifts. They won the sperm lottery.
Genetics, it's if you're good at it or not.
I'm not saying none of those people are smart, but I don't know if they're the first people I should be listening to about anything. Just me.
I think it's a safe bet some of them aren't very smart.
Probably.
Yeah,
seems to be a yin and a yang about
that's a safe bet. Yeah.
It does. All right. Thanks, Simpson.
See ya.
No, it's true. All day, all night, they never put it down. That is the significance of the story about World War I, when the British soldiers put the guns down, the German soldiers put There's got to be a day of a week. Oh, all you people that don't want to have my shit down your throat are a bunch of knuckle-dragging mouth breathers. No. You're an obsessed hack that can't put it down for a day. And I know Bob Costas. He's a Yankee fan. He's in the New York area. And he's constantly somehow tying politics into every fucking Yankee story he ever told. Jackass. Can't wait till he retires. I can't wait till all these baby boomers fucking get out. Go to an old folks home. Sick of them. Baby boomers. Blah. Jesus Christ. You're fucking the greatest generation, handed you the world, and you fucking fucked it all up.
Blah. And then blame everybody else.
And then you all fucking betrayed your principles and became yuppies in the 80s. Yeah, so much for the revolution, fuckos. Where's your goddamn espresso? All right, what else we got? Should I put the gay guy in there? No.
Not yet.
No, I'll put him in the end because he's really good. AJPO10. Something tells me you're gonna blow it again.
Oh, wait.
Turn his mic off. Dun 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 dun.
All right, you fucked it up.
Yeah, I'm not even waiting. I'm sorry my show getting fucked up like that. Leader, you're on the air.
Hey, Tony C, how you doing?
How are you, sir? Do you have any opinions?
opinions. Sorry, I pulled out for like 10 minutes. Are we still talking about the sports?
Let me check.
Money and government.
Let me see. Yes. Oh shit. Yeah, Whaler, you're on. Don't fuck it up.
No. But I want to talk about something else than the sport thing.
No. It's like fucking 5 minutes left. What do you got?
Yeah, the NFL is going to
All right, what do you got? What do you got, Whaler? What do you got? What do you got? Is it quick?
The Kotaku blackmail.
Is it quick?
The Kotaku blackmail story, you know?
Get the fuck out of here, you racist sweet. I should have went with Topes. I should have went with you all along. What is a gay Middle Eastern man's perspective?
Well, I don't have a perspective, but I'd like to sing the American national anthem in solidarity with the people.
Let's hear it. I'm interested. You want me to get you like music or something?
I don't know the words of the national anthem, so I'm going to sing the opening theme song of American Dad.
Oh, go right ahead.
Good morning, USA!
I got a feeling that it's going to be a wonderful day.
That guy's too Americanized. I think they need to take care of him over there and straighten him out and make him a good Muslim.
I was thinking of something really bad, but
nah, he's a good kid. I love Tropes. Whatever. You know, we did a sports one. We did a sports podcast. Holy shit.
Sort of, yeah.
Well, you guys wanted something different. You got it. By the way, thanks for. Oh, Kito, I heard I can do sales on my site now. Like I can sell my T-shirts and shit dirt cheap.
Oh, can you really?
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to do that. So look for sales too, especially on the Gank Your Tags here. I'm gonna jack that down as low as I can on Gank Your Tags.
Are you going to have them made in some country that charges like 3 cents an hour?
I don't know. I don't ask any questions. If little Paco's fucking working his fingers to the bone, I don't know about it. But don't worry, I'll leave.
Sound like Trump.
I'll leave Teespring right away if I find that out about it. No, but Trump don't want little Paco in. Period. I'm willing to give him a chance. Making me a T-shirt. I'm just kidding. If you kneel, you're a commie. Actually, we really didn't say that. We didn't say that. We talked about the impact this is happening on the NFL. And by one poll, it's not good. And it's them. Nobody's watching ESPN. What, did they have to fire like 50 guys last summer?
Oh, more than that.
Yeah. That's where social justice gets you. On the unemployment line.
I think Fox cleaned house a little bit too.
Yeah. Well, why go to them when you can go somewhere else and somebody can make you dig it?
You can go to
Love your
Melissa.
show, but I don't think CTE should be dismissed as something that the players knew what they were signing up for. How many more former NFL greats with CTAs killed themselves and other people? Hernandez Bleachers before you're convicted. I don't know if I'm dismissing it because they didn't know what they were signing up for in 2000. In the 80s. I will give you that. But
right, we know more now. They do know
They know more now. It's great that we know more now, but there does come a point where are we going to change the game to limit the amount of head injuries? Or, like, I mean, God, I've seen what was that fucking baseball rule they made? Made things more dangerous. With the sliding into home?
The slide rule?
Yeah. That changed. I think it made things worse. And I don't want to do things.
The only reason that rule went into place is because a star catcher got his legs snapped in half.
Here's what I don't want. Let me give you an example. And I'm not making light of CTE, okay? I'm not making light of CTE. But I do think that's what you take the risk for. And especially now, you know. If you're a kid, he knows. If your kid's 14-year-old's showing pro potential, you got the option to pull him out now. Ain't going to get better. Get CTE in high school, too. Happens. Right?
Absolutely.
Here's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm sorry. Let me finish this. Here's what I'm saying. Okay. It's a contact sport. There are some risks. Now, let's take the offsides rule that they changed just recently. I got to be honest with you. It's called hybrid offsides. Me and Jeff hated it. It's not the way we were taught.
You're no. You're talking about icing.
Icing, excuse me. No, not hybrid offsides.
I was going to say
hybrid icing. All right, I'm out of it. Hybrid offsides. Me and Jeff were against it. We didn't think it was in the spirit of the game. You could hustle. And we even saw Pat Peake lose his career over it, who was a really good hockey player that didn't deserve to lose his career over it. Within about a year of watching hybrid offsides, I realized it is the best fucking rule. Saves guys' career. There's no reason for some rookie.
I love hybrid. I do like hybrid icing.
There's where we are wrong. Good rule change. Okay. On CTE, all right, hard hits, clean hits should not be punished. They've gotten so sensitive about CTE that if guy gets laid the fuck out, and by the way, you can get knocked out by your head snapping back and not have anybody make contact. You're skating the wrong way with your head down, right? And I kneel and I bend my knees and put my flat shoulder into your chest. Provided that I have not taken 2 strides and I floated into you, I'm going to fuck you up. That should not be taken.
That's why they tell you keep your head up.
And I got to be honest with you, I always thought that was a little deceiving too, in fairness. Hold on a second. Ooh, Collinsville. Great show. Fair points made. Thank you, Collinsville. You're so generous. That's what I'm talking about. I don't want the games to change so dramatically they do not resemble the games that I grew up with. And there's fighting sports. I really worry about them because there is no greater chance of getting CTE than being punched in the fucking head. I don't want those sports to go away. If people feel they want to take that on, I think they should. But now they know the risks, and there's no excuse. I have a little sympathy for the NFLers of the 80s and before that, but they didn't know.
Sure.
They didn't know the damage they were doing.
Back then.
Watermelon. Ha ha.
Plus players back then, I mean, they did not give a fuck. They would go out to hurt one another.
Yeah. I went to hurt guys when I hit them. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. No, I wanted to hurt them clean. Like, I love when I hit a guy.
Like,
I love when I hit a guy and I saw that he couldn't breathe.
I don't know if I go that far. I don't know if I go that far, but I love watching. I got
tripped up. I got tripped up on a play one time, and I was skating backwards in defense, and it shot my. It was just fucking some guy skating next to me just clipped my skate, and it made me, to get my balance, I bend my knees and my ass went straight up in the air, and it was a perfect fucking hip check for this guy that was streaming down the ice.
Like a Rob Blake hip check.
Yeah, exactly. And he got fucked up. Now, I'm glad he was hurt or anything, but I felt pretty good when I knocked him down, even though it was a complete fucking freak of nature. Like, whoops. And I was a gentleman about it.
When you go to the bench, you said, yeah, I meant to do that.
Exactly what I did. Because they were like, you badass.
Yeah,
I meant to do that. Nah, I fucking tripped. I got clipped by the fucking left wing when for some reason was streaming down fucking center ice. Shit happens. All right, everybody. I hope you enjoyed today's show. No idea what's in store for this week. Going to be making a real shout out to the news team. Feed me stuff. There could be an episode. Not likely. $5. Shamil Nukas, huge fan. Been here since 36K. Hopefully we'll get back there someday. Somehow when they make that joke, although I'm not saying Shamil made the joke,
just in general.
In general, because of our sort of 6,000 sub loss, right? It feels better when there's $5 attached to it than there's a nasty comment.
Yeah, money typically tends to heal all wounds.
Yes, it does, sir. All right, guys. Keep an eye on YouTube. You let me know. Don't be afraid to shout me on Twitter what you want to talk about. DM's open on Discord. Thank you very much for being a part of Shot from the Point. We will see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am taking Thursday off, but I have a fantastic clip from Jamie Pine that I promise you will be Stop from the Point legend. Peace.
This is the almighty infinite, independent excellence. Devil fighting, rebel titan, weed smoking alchemist. Fake identities, okay, you cool with Jason Bourne. Running with these Wolverines, okay, you about to catch a storm. I ain't never been a liar, got tired of niggas playing me. Head in my legs like she bout to catch a pedigree. Chi-town to King's home, slapping fives, black stones, 6 mile to danger zones. Bullets look like waffle cones. Folk affiliated to evolution of Machiavelli. Don't make me read them eagles to you like I'm Chip Kelly. They feel my struggle, I express it through my hip hop. I'm about to make it hard to breathe, here's a headline.